In this podcast episode, Russell Brand, a well-known comedian, actor, and public figure, discusses his spiritual journey and newfound faith in Christianity. The conversation begins with the hosts expressing admiration for Brand's openness about his transformation and his ability to connect with people through vulnerability and authenticity. Brand acknowledges the compliment and reflects on his past, including his struggles with addiction and his pursuit of fame and success in Hollywood. Brand describes his spiritual journey as a gradual process that led him from self-centeredness to a deeper understanding of Christianity. He admits that he previously held Christianity at arm's length, viewing it as something for old ladies and poor people. However, his perspective changed when he actually read the Bible and discovered its profound messages. Brand particularly resonates with the figure of Paul in the New Testament, finding inspiration in Paul's transformation from a persecutor of Christians to a devoted follower of Christ. The comedian shares that his awakening to Christianity came through a series of challenging experiences, including personal scandals and family health issues. He describes feeling crushed and realizing that he needed to surrender his will to God. He emphasizes the importance of humility and recognizing one's own limitations, stating that he has gone from thinking he was Jesus to recognizing his need for Jesus. Brand openly discusses his past struggles with addiction and his pursuit of fame. He describes how his desire for glory and self-worth drove him to seek success in the entertainment industry. However, he found that even at the height of his fame, he felt empty and unfulfilled. He reflects on how his addiction to drugs and promiscuity was a form of devotion to false idols, and how he now seeks to redirect that devotion towards God. Brand shares his experiences in Hollywood, including his rapid rise to fame and his interactions with other celebrities. He describes feeling disillusioned with the industry, especially after experiencing disappointment with the reception of his film, Arthur. He expresses concern about the values promoted by Hollywood and the entertainment industry, questioning whether it's possible to maintain one's integrity within such a system. Brand speaks about his growing faith and how it has impacted his life. He describes feeling God's presence in everyday moments and learning to surrender control. The comedian shares an anecdote about a recent experience in Milwaukee where he felt guided by faith throughout the day. However, he also admits to struggling with old habits of self-centeredness and the desire to take from others for personal gain. The podcast hosts encourage Brand to consider using his talents and platform to spread positive messages through his work in entertainment. Brand expresses hesitation, citing concerns about the corrupting influence of the industry. He questions whether it's possible to change the system from within, drawing parallels to politicians who enter office with good intentions but become compromised by the system. Brand discusses the importance of forgiveness in his spiritual journey. He acknowledges the need to forgive himself and others, recognizing that holding on to resentment is harmful. The comedian reflects on how his understanding of forgiveness has deepened through his faith, seeing it as a necessary part of following Christ's teachings. The conversation touches on Brand's experiences with fatherhood and how it has impacted his perspective. He speaks lovingly of his children and how watching them grow has reinforced his desire to live a life aligned with his newfound faith. Throughout the podcast, Brand emphasizes that his spiritual journey is ongoing and that he continues to face challenges. He describes the tension between surrendering to God and falling back into old patterns of self-centeredness. He expresses a desire to use his talents and platform in a way that aligns with his faith, but he grapples with how to do so within the existing entertainment industry. He questions whether it's possible to create meaningful change from within established systems, or if new approaches are needed. Brand shares his insights on various biblical passages and concepts. He reflects on the phrase, "The first shall be last, and the last shall be first," interpreting it as a call to prioritize others over oneself. He also discusses the concept of seeking the kingdom of God first, acknowledging the challenge of putting this into practice in daily life.